Good morning. Got half of my bangs looking like Prince Charming this morning, which is fine, I guess. And to the left. I just edited my last video. The tripod has not moved and you were seeing a little too much of the mess for my comfort. So now we'll see a little bit more of the nice stuff over here. Good morning. It is July 18th, 2022. My name is Leigh, and it is a glorious rainy day here in Pittsburgh. I have the curtains open and the ISO adjusted for the gloomy, dark weather. Personally though, I am thriving in this weather. Love it so much, so much. This is what I wanted. This is what I always wanted. Anyways, this is a podcast, a video podcast about crafty things. I am a full-time illustrator and I craft for my hobbies as well, so all around creative. I knit, crochet, cross stitch, and sew a bit. And today I have almost all knitting for you, one crocheted finished object, and a sewing update. So pretty full episode today. I am also going to be filming, as soon as I'm done with this, a bonus video of fall knitting plans. So keep your eyes out for that if you are interested. Subscribe and you will get notified when I upload it. But I'm very excited about that as well. Gonna have a lot of fun filming all the things today. If you're new here, welcome. I have had a few new subscribers lately, which is very exciting. I'm all over the place all the time. I'm pretty chaotic and sorry, not sorry. I will ramble though. I will ramble for an hour if you need me to, which is what I like to listen to / watch. That's what I like in a podcast. So that's what you're getting. All right, let's start with stuff. We'll start with finished objects. I have one finished object. Oh, my finished objects are stacked on top of each other and I could not see the first one. My first finished object is, we're gonna start, okay, I'm gonna do this again. I did this last time as well, where I start talking before I explain to you what we're doing right now. What we're doing right now is, it is summer and I am participating in summer sock camp. So the podcast is laid out a little differently, where I talk about all of my summer sock camp update stuff separately from my everything else. So today we are going to do the summer sock camp update first, and we will discuss my socks. It'll be a short one today, I promise. My first finished object is a pair of socks. And these are, there's two of them. These are my 11th pair for summer sock camp, I think. And they are also my Sock Week socks. I participated in Sock Week, which is another sock knit along hosted by Natalie of Knitty Natty. And I love how these turned out. I think they are so cute. This yarn was also a pleasure to knit with, like the base. It is Barnyard Knits. It was one of her 50s twists, which is 250-gram skeins. And the colors are Lakeside and Beach House. Lakeside and Beach House, and there's the base info as well. It is it's a 75/25 4-ply, but it's plumper than other 75/25s. It's more like a true fingering rather than a light fingering, and it's really nice. I really like how it feels. And I'm done with that tag. So yeah, these were finished in a week. I thought I was gonna get them done much quicker, but I have not been in a sock mood, as you will see. I've been in an everything else kind of mood. I'm still kind of in my finishing things phase. You know, you go through ebbs and flows of casting on a bunch of things and then finishing a bunch of things. I'm still in a finishing a bunch of things kind of mood right now. But even so, I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out on socks. My answer to that is to just slow down a bit. I am knitting on other things as well to try and keep my momentum going, just dipping into a bunch of different pots. But for now, I'm basically monogamously sock knitting. So I will show you my whip, my summer sock camp whip. It is the only one I have, the only pair of socks I have going. These are also a double dip for another knit along. These are a double dip for the Christmas in July make along hosted by Dana Ray Makes, and they are also my July stripe socks. I am doing a self-imposed challenge where I knit a pair of self-striping socks every month, and these are my July socks. They're in this cute little bag that I made with a Stitchery & Co. Sockmas pin on it. And I am knitting Christmas in July socks. These are really nice. It's really nice knitting on just one pair of socks at a time, actually. Like, really nice. Then I have things that I'm actually working on, and then I don't have to pick and choose between the socks whenever I want to like take a break. I just have these, and so these get all the love. But yeah, these are Tiny Human Knits, very vintage Christmas. I love how it's working up. And the contrast color is Knit Pick Stroll in Forest Heather. Knit Pick Stroll in Forest Heather is the contrast color I chose. I was going to do a plain, like, natural color, and I changed my mind, which is fine. I'm allowed to do that. This is a very plump base. I know that Tiny Human Knits yarn always knits up really plump and larger for me. So I did size down a needle size. I am knitting these on size 0, US size 0, 2mm needles. And that's it. They're not very exciting. They're vanilla socks. My vanilla sock recipe is always down in the description box below. And that's that. All right, let me double check real quick. I have my little summer sock camp page in my little knitting notebook. I have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yes, 11 pairs of socks. Of the ones on my definite to finish list here, I have started the 4th from last one, and I have 3 more to start, which is exciting. My goal for summer sock camp, if you missed it, is 18 pairs over camp, and I just finished 11. This will be number 12. The knit along runs until August 31st, so I will have a month to knit 5 more pairs. Depending on how fast I can get these done. If these take the rest of the month, then I'll have a month to knit 5 pairs. If these take like a week, then I'll have more time. So I'm doing pretty good. Hold please, I have to text my husband. I'm leaving the house today. I'm leaving the house, so I have to let Brad know so he doesn't come home and find me gone. All right. Not whips. One more finished object, but not socks. That's it for socks. That's it for sock updates. The other finished object I have is a crocheted finished object, and it looks silly right now. I have finished my, actually I don't remember the name of it. Hold on. All of my projects are, my project page is linked below if you ever need to know about anything. All right, this is the Worn This Way hat. It is a raffia hat by Wool and the Gang. The raffia and the pattern are both by Wool and the Gang. And I used an entire roll of raffia. This is what it looks like, by the way. This is the color Cinnamon Dust. I used an entire roll of it and did not have enough to finish the pattern. I was supposed to get through here these 2 rows of half double crochets and then do a slip stitch edge, and I made it to here. Oh no, here with my half double crochets, and had this far left to go to finish that round of half double crochets, and then did not get the slip stitch edge done. But you know what? It's a hat. It's fine. The head of it ended up being a little bit large. I believe my gauge was off, but it's fine. I used the called for hook. Like I said, it's a hat. It is not that big a deal. No, where's, oh, there it is. I'm just putting the little weird piece in the back. I'll show you what it looks like on. They do have instructions in the pattern for how to block this to make sure that the brim lays a little flatter. But honestly, I may or may not do it. It's going to wear in. It's a paper hat. So with sweat and sun, it's going to be fine. And the floppy brim look doesn't actually bother me. I think it's kind of cute. Look, you can see how the light comes through it on my face. So I made this to garden in, and I am pretty excited about it. I'm going to make a second one and see if my gauge is a little better. See, like, look at this lump. Weird. I'm going to make a second one out of this color. And I'll probably be starting it pretty soon because I'm supposed to be putting it into the shop as a sample. And I would like to get that done. So it didn't actually take very long. I did get a little bored a couple of times and put it aside, but overall, like actual crochet time, it did not take long at all. I could basically finish one of these in like 2 or 3 days. So not bad. I think it's cute and it will definitely do its job in the garden, keeping my head out of the sun. That was its job. That was its only job, and it's gonna do it just fine. That's it for FOs. I have whips. I have 2 whips to show you that are knitting. And the first one is in this project bag made by me. It is my Moonset Tee by Ozetta. Oh boy, this thing. This thing. This is the cover page. It is the Moonset Tee by Ozetta. Moonset Tee. Just a basic V-neck white t-shirt. I am knitting mine white. I'm knitting mine out of Shibui Knits Pebble in the color Ivory. It is a 48% recycled silk, 36% fine merino, and 16% cashmere yarn, fingering weight. And it knits up beautifully. The fabric is gorgeous. I think I had just gotten to the V-neck join last time you saw it. And since then, I have started knitting it down the body. Here's the V-neck, I'm holding it sideways. But I've gone down the body an inch and a half maybe, not very far, and realized that I was getting bored out of my mind knitting this stockinette in the round. It's actually a lot of stitches because it's on, it's fingering weight on size 3 needles. So not like unreasonable, but still fairly small gauge. So a lot of stitches. Yeah, so yesterday I decided to do the sleeve, one sleeve. I picked up around the armhole, knit one sleeve. It has an I-cord bind off and it has slight decreasing down the bottom just to make sure the sleeve doesn't flare out a lot. And I also did a little bit of finishing. I wove in a few ends, especially around the neck part, and I stitched down the collar, which I was really nervous about, but I think it actually turned out okay. Like, it turned out looking pretty good. So I did a little bit of finishing just to do something different on this than just stockinette in the round. I will probably be knitting the body another couple of inches and then do some more finishing and just keep rotating because I still have ends to weave in and another sleeve to do. So I'll probably just keep rotating between those things until I'm done with this. So that's the update on the Moonset Tee. It's strange to hold it up because the shoulder seams are really far. I don't know if you can see that. They're really obvious for me, it being backlit, but the seams on the back here are really far, like to the back. They're not like on the top of your shoulder. They're like behind your shoulder. So it's weird holding it up. I don't know, it'll probably be fine. But that's that. That's the update on the Moonset Tee. I have a sneaking suspicion that I will have an entire skein of this yarn left over because I caked up another ball. I used this to knit the sleeve. I still have this for the body. This was definitely half of a skein for a sleeve, so I'll be able to get a whole nother sleeve out of this. And then this for the body. And then I still have 2 whole skeins left. So I think this and one of these is definitely gonna be enough for the body. And then I'll have a whole other skein left. I'm just gonna have to de-stash it, I guess. I always do this. I don't know why. Like, I know that pattern designers include like grace, like 10% bonus in their yardage estimates to account for whatever, but I always have like a whole skein left over. I don't know what that's about. Oh, sorry, lemon. All right, my other whip is in my dragon bag by Woodsy and Wild. And it's my twigs. You saw me hem and haw last episode about whether or not I was gonna rip the twigs out and start over. I did rip it out. Spoiler alert, I ripped it out. The twigs is an all over colorwork pattern by Junko Okamoto. I do not have a picture of it here. I only printed out the relevant parts of the pattern to save paper and ink, as I usually do. So I don't have a picture to show you, but it's an all over colorwork sweater, long sleeve with like dramatic cuffs, and it's just really pretty. But I started mine like a long time ago and put it away in hibernation for reasons. I don't even remember what they were. Then realized that I learned a bunch of things about colorwork and they had not applied to the first whole part of the twigs that I had knit. Well, I did decide I was gonna rip it out and start over. So I did, and I'm almost to where I was the first time. This is my twigs. It looks silly, all bunched up on its cable here. It also looks a little bit lumpy because for these plain stockinette bits in between the colorwork, I'm supposed to size down back to a smaller needle size for the stockinette so that just the colorwork is on a larger needle. But I've been really lazy and haven't been doing that, so I've just been using the same needle for the whole thing. Like I used the smaller needle for all of this, and I used the smaller needle for this one here, and then stopped. So you can see it's a bit more wrinkly on the next ones down. It'll be fine. I'm counting on it to block out, because that's what happened with my Hello from My Colors crop. It kind of did the same thing and it blocked out. So that's what I'm banking on here. But the actual color work looks so much nicer now that I have adjusted for color dominance. And you can see how good these patterns are turning out. And these colors, oh, these colors, they're so good. I'm so in love. I'm using Pearl Soho linen quill. Here's the tag for this is what all their tags look like. I am using 3 colors. I am using the color Kiln Red for the main color. Kiln Red. This beautiful orangey yellow is called Calendula. And then the other color, this beautiful like pinky purpley gray, is called Rose Granite. And this is my combo. Gorgeous, beautiful. I am so excited to have this sweater. I have been knitting on it kind of a lot actually. It's been a lot of fun. Now that I've cracked the code for me and holding my yarn for color work, basically figuring out how to knit English style, it's been so much more fun and so much easier to do. So that's it. That's what I got done. I ripped it back, by the way, all the way to the short rows here above this first color work. So I ripped all the way out and then did all of this color work again. I just finished a plain, like a stockinette section, and I'm ready to start the next round of color work or section of color work. I just have 3 more. I have 1 big section of color work, like a big section of color work, and 2 little dinky sections of color work before I separate for the sleeves. But this thing is intense. It is fingering weight on size 3 needles. So right now I'm not even at the arm separation yet, or sleeve separation, and I'm already at 400 stitches on the needles. Just pretty considerable. Like, this thing is it's gonna really slow down before I separate for the sleeves, and then it'll pick back up because the body circumference will be smaller and then the sleeve circumference will be smaller. So hopefully that'll be good. I think the sleeves will probably fly by because the actual color work doesn't go down very far. It has a really dramatic long cuff. So that'll go a bit faster. But I'm still loving it and enjoying it, and until it gets boring again, hopefully I don't get bored of it the same place I did last time. We'll hope for the best. One of my friends just had a baby, and I'm gonna go see her after I'm done filming. We have There are 3 of us. We all work together at the bakery and we're friends. And one of them is in town. She lives out of the city. And she said, I'm coming to the city today. Do you want to all get together? So she's gonna pick me up and take me over to see the 3rd friend who just had a baby. And I get to snuggle a baby and talk to her about what I can make for the baby. So I'm excited to do a baby knit. I have a big stash down here, a basket of like cotton yarn and cotton blend yarns. I'm sure I'll have plenty to make something for the little one. She was just born. I also have a basket of wool over here with some cotton. This is like I have like DK cotton and stuff in here. All right, my last whip is a pretty exciting update. I'm not going to spend too long on it though. I have an update on my linen skirt that I'm hand sewing. Quick recap, I am hand sewing a linen skirt. I self-drafted it, and therefore it has been a pain in the ass and has been taking a really long time, and I have made a lot of mistakes. But I finally took it downstairs and put it by the couch and had it nearby when I was getting the itch, and I managed to sew all the buttons on. All the buttons are on. It is, as you can see, it is this gorgeous, like pumpkin-y, orangey red color. It's called pumpkin, but it's not actually very pumpkin-y, I don't think. It's very reddish orange, more like a scarlet. But it's this gorgeous, like yarn-dyed linen that I bought from Burnley and Trowbridge. I buy a lot of my fabrics from Burnley and Trowbridge. I just love historical garment making, and that's what they are set up for. It is folded in half because I am a thick girl, and it has pockets. Don't talk to me about the pockets. They are wrong, but they will hold things. You can see I have them kind of hidden in a seam, or hidden in a, they're in the seam, but they're hidden in a pleat. They're backwards. Like the pockets face the back of the skirt, so like I'll have to like stick my hands in backwards, but it's fine, it's fine. You live and you learn. All I have left on this are buttonholes. And I say that like it's nothing, but it's actually really intimidating me because I have a lot of buttons on here, which means I have a lot of buttonholes to sew. And I'm not looking forward to it. It's scary cutting into the fabric like that, and then tedious to hand sew all those buttonholes. So while that's the only thing I have left, I feel like this is not very close to being finished. I really just need to hunker down and do it because I really want to wear this. It's so beautiful, like gorgeous. And I have so many things that I can wear with it. Anyways, that's my skirt update. I think that's all for actual active projects. Like I said, I've been pretty monogamous. I have not been casting on really anything new. That green top I mentioned last episode for the shop sample, I kind of started it, but I kept messing up. I messed up like 3 times, so I think I'm just gonna have to like start it over. I literally only got like this far on a shoulder, so it's not a big deal. All right, I have one acquisition to show, only one. I do have some stuff arriving today. Oh, I did have one more acquisition, but it was a candle. I don't have to show you. It's all the way downstairs, but I ordered from Explorer Knits and Fibers from the Ireland collection. Is it getting brighter? Even brighter now? The Explorer Knits Ireland collection. I didn't order any yarn, but I did order the candle, the wax and wool candle, and it arrived and smells insane. It's so good, but it's down in the living room. So that came in, but I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to show it to you. But I have one acquisition that is nice and crinkly. Oh, hold on. It is nice and crinkly. So sorry for that. I'll try not to crinkle while talking, so I'll be able to adjust in post. But I wanted to show you the front. I ordered from Hawari Bazaar yarn the sweater quantity of watermelon sugar yarn. This is the most perfect pink. I have been on the hunt for the perfect pink to make a pink sweater, and I found it. I left it in a little bag here because I'm not sure where I'm going to be storing it yet. It's pink but it's got orange, like corally orange in it as well. Oh my god, it's so perfect. I love it so much. I ordered 3 skeins of this so that I could make something. I can make, it's fingering weight, so I can make a sweater, either a loose gauge sweater or a like short sleeve top, something, because it is not a very, it is a very spring summer color. Wow, it looks so bright on camera. I mean, I look a little blown out too because this light is suddenly getting brighter. I turned the ISO back down. The sun just keeps compensating. But that is my only acquisition. Beautiful. It was supposed to be a watermelon sugar one of a kind batch because she said that she had gotten some like blue speckling in it on accident, but I can't see any yet. Like as it's hanked up there, I see nothing. So looks perfect to me. Even if there are a few blue speckles, I'm totally fine with that. I don't have any actual like future cast on plans. Like I said, I am in a finishing kind of mood. So I'm just kind of working on my socks and my 2 sweaters, and I'm good with it. I'm good with it right now. I've been cross stitching a little bit. I don't have like anything exciting to show for the cross stitch, but I have been cross stitching a bit, and I have been reading a little bit. I started a new book, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan, I believe is the name of the author. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not very far into it yet, but I've heard great things, so. Life updates. Oh, Brad got a new job. That's pretty exciting. Brad is my husband, by the way. He got a new job at doing the same thing he's doing now, but at a new place. And he will be starting on August 1st at his new clinic, which is very exciting. Oh, I never gave you guys a health update. A few episodes ago, I was talking about going to the doctor for some health stuff. I guess I could give you an update on that. I went to the doctor. I can't remember what the last thing I told you was, but I did go to the doctor. We decided that for my specific problems, I have PCOS, and the only way to treat PCOS is kind of to try things and see how they go. There's not like an actual treatment for it. And so we're experimenting. We're currently in the experimental phase of trying quitting some of my medications and seeing how my body reacts. And if nothing changes, if I'm having problems, okay, so I'm currently quitting medications one at a time periodically so that I have like detox time. Like I quit one medication the day of my appointment and went 30 days and then quit my second medication. And I'm currently in that 30 days where my body's acclimating to not being on that medication. And then after that's over, I'm supposed to get blood work done. If things are still really off or things haven't been fixed by quitting either of those medications, then I'm going to have to see an endocrinologist. But I'm hoping it's one of these medications because, like I said, I'm currently in the 30 days of the second medication quitting. I have until the end of the month to see how I feel. One of my big problems was fixed after quitting the first medication. It was causing it. So great news. Another one of my big problems, TBD. I suspect it's the second medication, but we're trying. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We really won't know anything until my body gets all of the medication out of my system and I get my blood work done and we see what's going on. That's where I'm with that. I'm just kind of chilling and seeing what my body does. Good news though is that I haven't reacted horribly to being off of either of those medications. There was a risk of me having a really bad time quitting one of my medications. So the fact that I am not a monster is great news for me and for my husband. That was a quick, brief life update. Besides that, I've just been doing illustration stuff and knitting or crafting. I think that's all I have today though. I'm going to wardrobe change so it looks like I haven't not moved to film my next video. But thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I will see y'all in the next one.